Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Thoughtful Thursdays with Vanessa. I am your host, Vanessa Parra-Moreno, social media coach from Monterey County. And I help coaches, consultants, salespeople, and content creators new to video attract their ideal clients on their social media platforms. Welcome. Today, I'm super excited because I'm interviewing Gabby Chavez, president of Latina Coalition of Silicon Valley. And we're going to just learn some great things about this organization. And Gabby will be giving some tips on how to grow your personal development. Hi, Gabby. How are you?
I'm doing well, Vanessa. How are you today?
I'm good. Before we start, something that I want people to know is that I've actually known Gabby for a while because we're part of a Latina-based sorority called Sigma Omega Nu. And something that I don't know if Gabby knows, but I just want to let everyone know that Gabby is pretty much the definition of an independent, strong Latina. Um, I remember when I first started my career and my journey to grow in my career, I had reached out to her and I had asked her for some tips on personal development and just growing my career because I always noticed how well-rounded she was and connected. And so, Gabby, I just want to let you know that I really appreciate you. I'm very inspired by you, and I hope you know that you've made a difference in someone's life. So I hope
No,
you know
thank,
that.
thank you. Thank you, Vanessa. That means so much to me and for you sharing that. Is really, truly what I strive for. That's my passion, is helping others and inspiring others to pursue their goals and their dreams, whatever those may be. So that makes me feel really good that I left that with you so many years ago now. It has been quite a while,
Yes.
and I'm just equally as proud of you and all that you've
Oh,
accomplished
thank you.
and seen you evolve as a woman and as a professional. So it makes me super excited to see our worlds colliding again here
Yes.
in this moment. So really, really grateful to be here.
Oh, thank you. So, Gabby, tell us a little bit about your organization, what you do, who you serve, and stuff like that.
Definitely. So obviously the Latina based cultural thing is sort of something I'm really passionate about. Was a founding sister of Sigma Omega Nu at Santa Clara University, which was a Latina based sorority focusing on the three pillars of academics, cultura, and sisterhood. Then I got involved with Latina Coalition when I was still in college, and their pillars were civic engagement, leadership development, and sisterhood. So not too much different in terms of aligning with my values. I definitely am attracted to organizations that, one, celebrate culture, and two, celebrate our ambitions and our goals in our lives. And so there's definitely alignment with both organizations. And with Latina Coalition, we're definitely focused on the professional mujer, as we like to call it. She is somebody who is passionate about her career, is ambitious, has big goals for herself, but is also very tied to the community and giving back and paying all that she has been given, or maybe not sometimes given, but has worked for, paying that forward. And so that is who we serve. We serve ambitious Latinas, cross-sector, intergenerational, culturally different in some ways. We're a very diverse group. So we make sure that we have programming that speaks to all different types of lived experiences. We are a community-based organization. We are a nonprofit. We've been around for 2 decades, so we've been doing this work for quite a while. And I'm just part of that pipeline of leadership. So I started as an ELA, which is Engaged Latina Leader Activist. That was a program that I did in college. And then I moved through the pipeline. I met amazing mentors. I got wonderful opportunities along the way. And now I'm in the president's seat, which is super exciting. And I have visions to take this organization to the next level. and grow it and make sure that we're having more impact and we're touching more lives, like yours and mine, Vanessa.
Great. That's awesome. Great to hear. So Gabby, can you give us maybe what are the three biggest areas that you've seen Latinas really lack or need help in to grow their career or entrepreneurship?
Yeah, I think the first thing is mindset. What I've seen is usually we're our own biggest critic and we're our own biggest obstacle before we even get into taking on challenges. So I think confidence is something that we can work on and we can constantly be building up within ourselves. So it's that self-talk that we say to ourselves that we can do it. It's a lot of this really positive self-talk, and then surrounding yourself with people that are your cheerleaders and that are, cheering you on along the way, that sometimes when you don't think you can do something, that they're able to pick you up and say, no, you can keep going, you can do this. So I think confidence is one of those things. One of the things that I hear a lot and I don't necessarily suffer from is imposter syndrome. So feeling like you don't belong in spaces, or just because you're the only woman, you're the youngest, you're Latina, you're going in with all of these sort of ideas about not belonging. I think that that's something that's very real, and that can be worked on. And so just feeling like, you're more than ready to be in that space, you're more than ready to take on that challenge, is something that I definitely see as a barrier. And then also, I think what I've seen a lot is that we tend to be very focused on like, what's the next step? When really you should be thinking about 10 steps ahead, right? And you should be planning for the long-term game. And so something may seem really trivial, like I've sent job opportunities or volunteer opportunities to people and they're like, well, am I going to get paid? Like, what's the deal? And I'm like, you don't see how this will kind of be a springboard to something else, or you may be introduced to people that you wouldn't necessarily have access to. So I think thinking like steps ahead and really kind of thinking about the long-term strategy is something that I don't think a lot of times we as Latinas do. We're always thinking about, well, what's in it for me right now? And I think that that's short-sighted, and you miss out on a lot of opportunities because it's not always an instant return. And I've put in a lot of time. I've put in a lot of volunteer work into building my career, and it's come back to me tenfold. But it wasn't until 5-10 years out.
Yeah. No, I agree. I completely agree. I think in order to be effective or grow in your career or your business, you have to grow your personal brand. And in order to grow your personal brand, you have to network. And then, like you mentioned, either by volunteering or working on projects for free. And something else that I've noticed is that, yes, a lot of us do feel that we have imposter syndrome. And the way to avoid that is by becoming an expert. And then to become an expert, you actually have to do the work. And sometimes you have to do it for free,
Yeah.
And I think that that's fine, because again, maybe you might not see instant results right now, but in the long run, you will. And then also you grow your network, your connections, and you never know. It's like a circle. For example, like me and you, where we've known each other for a long time and we haven't really spoken in a while, but the fact that we have common goals and we're able to, connect and talk about our passions and help the community and stuff like that. So I completely agree.
Yeah, I really like that you brought up the idea of an expertise, because I think when I mentor a lot of women, they want to do everything. And they want to throw themselves into every type of project, and they want to I want to try this out, I want to try that out, and like college is kind of the time to do that. Like when you're working and you have to focus. And I think cutting back can serve you very much in your career, and just focusing on one thing and developing that expertise, so that's what you're known for and that's what your brand is. And it's fine to try different things out, but like I always say, it's better to excel in one thing than to just be mediocre at everything.
Yes.
So I think that a lot of Latinas could use that advice is like focus in, get that expertise and do it really, really well. Because if you spread yourself too thin, then it's just kind of like you're mediocre at everything that you try.
Yes. I agree. I know I've heard like a saying, you want a specialist, not like a generalist. For example, with doctors, right? If something is wrong with you, I don't know, maybe with your neck and spine, you want to see a specialist that will be able to fix your neck, not just a generalist who might be able to help, but doesn't really have the exact, remedy to help you. Well, the same way goes with your career or with your business. You need to be known for something. That way, when someone needs help with a specific struggle or objection, they think of you right away because they know that person knows this subject or this topic, so I'm going to reach out to them. So no, I completely agree. Now, can you give us 3 tips on how Latinas can invest in their personal development or what areas to focus in?
Yeah, so I think I brought one of them up already, and that's volunteering. And I think not only it's actually good for like even your mood, like it actually being giving to others and volunteering your time and your energy for a cause that's important to you actually even helps your own mood, and just like your own where you're at least with your mindset and everything. So like it's not only that, but like you said, you get the opportunity and you have a little bit of more flexibility, right? And trying some things out. You become more comfortable in spaces that you may not be able to get into because you're hired into, but because you're a volunteer, you can work with high level people and you can be exposed to that world. And so in that network, and you don't have to pay, the price of admission, which sometimes is a lot, in terms of tickets and things like that. So I would say volunteering is one of the ways that you can get a lot of experience. I would also say getting involved in political campaigns was something that for me really broadened my network because everybody is involved in political campaigns, whether it be entrepreneurs, whether it be people that are in private industry, educators. You really see the intersection of a lot of different sectors. So you get to meet kind of like anyone and everyone in those spaces. And so volunteering and supporting a candidate that you truly believe in and you align with their vision can be very empowering, and then also can help you broaden your network. So you're not just exposed to one sector or another. You kind of get like a nice, good breadth of professionals, especially when you're dealing with campaign donors. Those are really the players, right? In politics and in business. So you want to know who those people are that are getting involved. And so those would be kind of 2 tips. The other thing is just always learning, like go, attend online webinars, read books. I'm constantly reading professional development books. I just got done with More Than Ready by Cecilia Munoz. And she's a Latina who was the highest ranking Latina in the White House under Obama. And she ran his domestic policy department. And she talked about, and she interviews in her book, other women of color who have been the first in these really high level positions. And the one thing that they all had in common was they all didn't believe they were ready. They all questioned themselves in the beginning, like, am I ready to do this? Am I qualified? Do I belong here? And it's really the story of their own self-talk and them being like, no, you are more than ready. And another thing that I took away from that book as well is that, there's a lot of good work to be done in the world, but what's your work? And I think finding out what that is really important, and knowing that earlier on in your career, because then you can just focus on it and you don't have to be dealing with stuff that you don't enjoy doing. So I think just constantly investing in your education and your knowledge, listening to others that have been there, and the missteps and advice that they give you. It's always been super helpful to me to help navigate in my own career, just hearing from others. But volunteering, political campaigns, reading, and listening to podcasts. Now there's podcasts like that wasn't around really when I was in college. So now I really enjoy listening to podcasts and things like that. So I feel like expertise is really, really accessible now.
Yeah, I completely agree. I honestly, me being a first generation Mexican American, I didn't really have any role models or anyone to guide me to become an entrepreneur or even succeed in my career. So even when I was working and I really loved my job, there were certain skill sets that I knew I wanted to, develop, and I wasn't getting it from my job. So what I did, I invested in my own personal development by taking courses, meeting with mentors, going to conferences, listening to podcasts. If you ask my husband, I drive him crazy with marketing podcasts because I'm listening to it while I'm taking a shower, doing the dishes, doing the laundry, everything. Like I just consume it like crazy. And then I decided to volunteer as well for the city of Salinas. And I worked with a lot of small businesses, especially in the Latino community, because there's so many Latinos out there that only speak Spanish and don't really know about marketing or social media. So I've been able to help them. And so I'm able to get validation and grow my network and just get more familiar in my area, become an expert. So I completely agree. Yes, sometimes we don't have role models or someone to show us on what to do, but there is so much resources out there that people might not even know or think of. Another great resource is YouTube. It's a search engine. And so if you're there and you click a specific topic, I'm sure you'll come up with different videos on how to learn certain things. So no, I completely agree with everything that you mentioned. Yeah. So you already pretty much answered my question about, do you agree in investing in personal development, which we both agree it's very important.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I want to dig into that a little bit more.
Okay.
And I think that I do get a lot of hesitation from Latinas that I work with when I'm like, invest in a therapist, invest in a trainer, invest in someone that can help you develop your career, like to put money towards that. And I think for me, the first time I put money towards something was a personal trainer, right? And that deals with your body. And I think some of the things when I talk to my friends are like, isn't it a little extreme, like what they're telling you? I'm like, yeah, to change something drastically, you do have to take drastic measures. And it is a little extreme. And now I have a lot of friends that are getting like love coaches and people that are helping them with developing like romantic relationships. And so I'm definitely one to encourage, like, if you really want to take something seriously, like get an expert to help you and to guide you. And your time is very, very valuable. So yes, you could go out and learn all of this on your own, but you could be using that time to develop your own expertise. And in a way, just let the expert do what the expert does. I'm not a personal trainer and I don't want to personally train anyone, but I will hire a trainer if it is something that I'm really focused on and it's a priority in my life. And then there's something psychological about just putting resources towards a goal that you have in mind, that it holds you more accountable. And so I'm a huge fan of investing financially in your own personal development and in your own business. For example, even for me, I mean, I'm running a nonprofit and we hire, consultants to come in and help us with, marketing or different things like that if we need it. I tend to have a really strong background in that, so I need more help on the operations side of things. So that's kind of where I put some resources toward. But I'm a very, very big fan of hiring experts to come in and help you reach your goals quicker, and just in a way that like doesn't take you away from what you should really be focusing on, which is either building your business, developing your own expertise. You don't need to be an expert in everything, and I wouldn't encourage anyone to waste their time trying to dig into it on their own. It's just too much.
Yeah, no, I agree. Well, I think that's it. Is there anything else you would like to share with the audience? And then once you do that, if you can just let everyone know how they can reach out to you or connect with you in case they want more information about Latina Coalition or just to get to know you better.
Definitely. I mean, I think my biggest thing every week, like certain messages kind of come out to me from the universe and like different people. And one of the things is that right now that I've been thinking about is like thoughts become things. And I want to say that in order for something to become a thing in your life, like you first have to have the thought. And so open your mind to different ideas, reach out, go to networking events, attend online webinars so that you can start having these thoughts, and new ideas can come to you. And really, before you get anything, it has to first be a thought in your head, right? Yeah. Just like I'm sure you thought about creating a podcast platform, and it's not going to ever become a thing unless you had that thought. So I just say invest in your thoughts, make sure that they're positive, that they're growth mindset in a sense, and they will become things. And I'm a true believer in that. And yeah, I mean, we would love to have you. We have Latinos that support Latina leadership that are members. We have Latinas that are members. We have our allies, anyone who really believes in investing in Latina leadership in Silicon Valley. We invite you to come and visit us on our website, latinacoalition.org. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn. My personal LinkedIn is Gabriela Chavez Lopez. And then my Facebook is Gabby Chavez Lopez. And I keep people in the loop. Like I make sure that people know about resources and different opportunities that are available to them. And then also great events. And so it's a great network. And so I just encourage you to get involved, invite you to come to some of our upcoming events. We're doing one about mentorship on October 1st. And that's going to be on Facebook Live, and you can also sign up for the Zoom. So we tackle topics that are really important to our professional development, and we invite you to attend and join as a member and come and get involved and explore, what your next move may be.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you, Gabby. I appreciate your time, and I'm sure everyone got great tips off of this video. Well, that's the end for today's Thoughtful Thursdays with Vanessa. And again, if you want to connect with Gabby, make sure to send her a message, connect with her on LinkedIn, and I'll talk to you next Thursday. Bye.